how do you feel? What are your feelings about the state of science fiction and fantasy today? Are you positive about it, or are you negative about it?
I'm
How do you
super
feel about
positive
it?
about it.
You're positive about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not just science fiction and fantasy. It's science fiction, fantasy. It's comic books and superheroes. It's all the things that honestly all get bundled together into the things that folks love. That if they love science fiction and fantasy, all these other areas as well. And the reason I'm excited about it is that today you can put like the books I put out. There is no way I could have pulled that off and it wasn't easy, but there would have been so many more obstacles to that ever happening 20 years ago. Today,
Mhm.
the internet, the digital tools that are available, the way that our team is spread out across the world that works on World of Ataltis, right? I'm in contact with folks in other countries doing art that I never would have been able to meet under the old systems. But all those connections are there today. There's no reason you can't do amazing, amazing things. And so why couldn't I be excited about it, right? The opportunity is there for people to put together amazing stuff and get it into the hands of people all around the world. It's fabulous.
Well, I that's kind of been the philosophy that I have been approaching something like the Heath's Business for Creatives and things like that. That if you want to be a creative person, when do you want to be a creative person? There's no other time like now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be a creative person 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 20 years ago, like you're talking about. I mean, the answer
Yeah.
has to be today
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of everything that you've got. But that doesn't mean that there aren't still a lot of obstacles, because the internet makes a lot of things easy, but it still makes a lot of things hard. I mean, there's still things that are very hard.
Well, I think some of the challenges that folks face are first off, getting found. That is the number one most difficult thing because there's so many people doing it. To have someone find your stuff is the tricky part. Our number one comment we get from folks is, "This is awesome. How did I not know about it?"
Yeah.
We hear that again and again and again. And what that means is that it takes time to build that. At the same time, it used to take years to break even on any business, whether you're building a brick and mortar store or anything else. And people seem to forget that sometimes, that when you're putting these out and trying to actually make money off of them, make money as in pay your bills, which is really my definition of make money in gaming. Um, when you're trying to do that, it takes time to build that up. It takes time to generate that following and that sort of steady stream of income as you're moving along. So I think that's an important thing. That's a huge obstacle in today's world. I think the other obstacle is people not recognizing that they're in a niche market. I think that people have this idea that there's these magic formulas that you use in business, that if you do this, this, and this, you'll be successful. The reality is that the things that actually make it, if you look at the huge Kickstarters, if you look at the products, sometimes they come from people who have done a million products. Sometimes they come from someone you've never heard of and you don't know where the heck they came from. And you're like, well, how did this happen? And the reality is that there isn't a magic formula. If there was, the big companies would already be using it to put out these products and make a ton of money. The reality is we're in a niche market with a small audience. There's not a boatload of money to be made. There's enough money to be made that people can make a fair living wage and do what they love and create wonderful things for the world. And I think that those are the challenges, is getting past the idea that you can apply the same sort of business logic that you apply to, say, a Starbucks franchise to a gaming company. And it's just not realistic. That's in my opinion.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and all of that jazz. It really helps a lot. But also, please check out The Cultists, the web series on this channel about modern-day D&D playing Lovecraftian cultists who just want to worship Cthulhu in a world full of people who just don't understand. Season 1 is on the channel now. But also, please check out my YouTube channel. I have over 150 videos on tabletop games and the fantasy genre. If you've enjoyed this video, you might enjoy many of them as well. I look forward to seeing you for them and many more videos to come.